Why is it that so many people never make it past 85, even when they appear to be doing everything right? Why do some seem healthy on the surface, only to face a sudden decline that no one saw coming? And perhaps the most important question, what are the few who live longer actually doing differently that the rest of us overlook? The reality is sobering. Most older adults don't pass away from dramatic, sudden events like we see in the movies. Instead, life slips away gradually, shaped by subtle habits, overlooked risks, and quiet emotional patterns that, little by little, drain vitality over time. It isn't always obvious, and that's what makes it so dangerous. In this video, we're going to uncover 6 critical reasons why so many people never reach beyond 85, and, even more importantly, what wise older adults do differently to avoid that fate. From the small daily choices that strengthen the heart to the hidden threats that quietly affect the mind, each insight is grounded not only in lived experience, but also in science-backed longevity research. So whether you're in your 60s, 70s, or even entering your 80s, it's never too late to pay attention. These aren't just casual tips. They are small but powerful decisions that, when practiced consistently, build the foundation for a longer, stronger, more vibrant life. And stay with us until the very end, because you'll discover how making even just one of these changes could be the very reason you reach 90, and still feel like yourself when you do. Let's get started. Number 1. The slow decline caused by inactivity. One of the most underestimated reasons many people don't make it past 85 is the quiet but steady loss of movement. It rarely happens overnight. It often begins with something that seems harmless, a skipped walk here, a day spent sitting on the couch there. But as days turn into months, and months into years, the lack of daily motion starts to chip away at balance, weaken muscles, and shorten breath. The body adapts quickly to stillness. Joints begin to stiffen, circulation slows, and bone density gradually decreases. With each small decline, you lose the most powerful protector of longevity, mobility. And mobility is far more than just exercise or burning calories. It's about keeping your body awake and alert, your blood flowing freely, and your nervous system engaged and responsive. Without it, the risks rise sharply. Falls, hospitalizations, and even sudden decline become far more likely, especially after the age of 70. Take Robert, a 74-year-old from Colorado. After retiring, he gave up his daily walks and spent most of his time indoors watching television. Within just 2 years, climbing the stairs became a struggle. By 76, he suffered his first fall. What turned things around was not an extreme workout or a complicated routine, but something surprisingly simple. Robert began standing up every hour, taking short daily walks, and committing to a few minutes of light stretching each morning. That habit didn't just keep him moving, it gave him his independence back. Longevity isn't about pushing yourself like a young athlete or chasing perfection. It's about showing up consistently with small, deliberate movements that tell your body, I still need you. Even 10 minutes of purposeful walking, a little strength work with resistance bands, or simply standing while making a phone call can make a bigger difference than most people imagine. And isn't that a powerful reminder that sometimes the smallest actions bring the greatest rewards? Because the truth is, once movement fades, everything else begins to follow. But when you keep moving, even in small ways, you're sending a powerful message. You're telling life that you're still fully in it. Number 2, the silent damage of poor sleep. Poor sleep doesn't just make you feel groggy or irritable the next day. Over time, it slowly chips away at nearly every system that keeps you alive. For older adults especially, disrupted sleep is one of the most overlooked but dangerous factors contributing to memory loss, weakened immunity, high blood pressure, and even premature death. And it's not simply about the number of hours you spend in bed. What truly matters is the quality of your rest. Shallow, restless nights, especially when they stack up over months or even years, can accelerate cognitive decline and trigger chronic inflammation that quietly spreads throughout the body. Isn't it surprising how something as natural as sleep, when neglected, can undermine both your mind and your body so deeply? Even if you've told yourself that waking up 3 or 4 times a night is just what happens with age, your brain doesn't agree. Each interruption robs it of the chance to reset, repair, and safeguard your long-term health. Take Joan, a 76-year-old from Oregon. She had no idea that her fragmented sleep was the hidden reason behind her constant fatigue, growing anxiety, and rising blood sugar. It wasn't until her doctor suggested a sleep study that she discovered the culprit. Mild sleep apnea was quietly sabotaging her health night after night. Once Joan began using a gentle sleep aid and added a few simple but powerful habits, turning off screens an hour before bed, doing light stretching in the evening, and keeping her bedroom cool and dark, her sleep improved dramatically. Within just a few weeks, her energy returned, her clarity sharpened, and she felt more like herself again. What's important to realize is that sleep isn't a passive state. In fact, it's one of the most active and restorative processes your body engages in to keep you alive and thriving. If you're struggling with pain, constant snoring, frequent nighttime bathroom trips, or racing thoughts that keep you awake, don't simply dismiss it as just aging. These are not harmless inconveniences. They are warning signs, signals that your body needs help and attention. Living a long life isn't just about the hours you spend awake. It's also about fiercely protecting the hours your body needs for recovery, so that you can rise each morning ready to show up fully for the day ahead. Isn't it worth treating sleep as the essential pillar of health it truly is? If you're still watching this video and finding these insights meaningful, I'd love for you to comment the number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to do so now. And turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our future videos. Your support allows us to continue creating thoughtful content that informs and inspires. Now, let's move on to number 3, the hidden danger of chronic loneliness. Loneliness is not simply about being physically alone. It's about feeling alone, even when others are nearby. And as we age, this quiet emotional ache can become one of the most destructive forces working against our health. Research has shown that prolonged social isolation can increase the risk of premature death just as much as smoking or obesity. It raises inflammation levels in the body, disrupts healthy sleep, accelerates cognitive decline, and weakens the immune system. But here's the most difficult part. Loneliness doesn't usually arrive in a dramatic way. It creeps in silently. Maybe your spouse passed away years ago. Maybe close friends have moved away, or you no longer see family as often. Maybe friends moved away, or perhaps the invitations just stopped coming. Edward, an 81-year-old from Michigan, once found great joy and purpose in being active with his local veterans group. But after undergoing surgery, he withdrew. His energy dipped, his motivation faded, and what began as a few quiet weeks at home slowly turned into months of isolation. Before long, his only regular conversation was with the cashier at the grocery store. It was his doctor who noticed the early signs of mild depression and encouraged him to join a community walking group for seniors. At first, Edward resisted. He worried about his stamina and felt unsure about meeting new people. But he finally decided to give it a try. That single walk turned into another, and before long, he was attending twice a week. Now, he's surrounded again by conversation, laughter, and a sense of belonging he hadn't felt in years. Connection doesn't always require large gatherings or constant activity. Sometimes it's as simple as picking up the phone to call a neighbor, joining a weekly group, or inviting someone over for coffee. Your body responds to these small acts of connection in powerful ways you can't always see, lowering blood pressure, stabilizing emotions, strengthening immunity, and renewing your sense of purpose. And even though it can feel easier at times to retreat and stay alone, it's important to remember this truth. The people who live the longest are rarely the ones who isolate themselves. They are the ones who stay connected, deeply, consistently, and often imperfectly, but always with heart. Number 4. The slow erosion from nutrient-poor diets. As we grow older, our appetite may shrink, but our nutritional needs do not. In fact, they become even more critical with each passing year. Unfortunately, far too many older adults unknowingly survive on diets lacking the very nutrients their bodies need most. And it's not just about the number of calories consumed, it's about the quality of the nourishment we provide ourselves. It's not just about how much food you eat, it's about the quality of what you put into your body. A bowl of cereal might fill your stomach, but does it give your brain the omega-3s it needs to stay sharp? Does it supply your bones with the calcium they depend on? Or your blood with the iron it may quietly be starving for? That's the problem with nutrient deficiencies. They rarely shout. Instead, they whisper. You feel just a little more tired than usual. Your balance becomes slightly less steady. Or your memory seems a touch fuzzier, and you chalk it up to just getting older. Take Barbara, a 79-year-old from New Jersey. She assumed her low energy was nothing more than the natural toll of aging. But after a routine blood test, she discovered she was deficient in vitamin B12 and vitamin D, two nutrients critical for strength and vitality. With just a few adjustments, including better food choices, a simple supplement, and spending more time in the sun, her strength slowly began to return. What she thought was aging was, in truth, her body's quiet cry for better nourishment. The challenge is that processed foods are often easier. They're softer to chew, quicker to prepare, and sometimes cheaper to buy. But convenience comes with a hidden cost. Over time, those choices trade short-term ease for long-term harm. Whole foods like leafy greens, berries, legumes, fatty fish, nuts, and fermented foods do more than just fill you up. They actively fight inflammation, protect your heart, and keep your brain sharper for longer. Even small upgrades can create big change. Swapping white bread for whole grain, adding spinach to your morning eggs, or choosing a handful of nuts instead of chips are not just dietary tweaks, they're powerful acts of self-preservation. Food is one of the few things you do every single day that has a direct, lasting impact on your future. And when you choose to eat for vitality, your body rewards you not only with more energy, but often with more years to live it. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment the number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to subscribe and turn on the bell so you won't miss any of our future videos. Your support helps us keep creating meaningful content to inform and inspire you. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Number 5. The overlooked risks of overmedication. As we grow older, the number of prescriptions often begins to multiply, but so do the risks that come with them. What might start as 1 or 2 pills can gradually expand into a list of 10 or more, often without careful coordination among different doctors. This situation is known as polypharmacy, and it is one of the leading but hidden causes of falls, confusion, hospitalizations, and even early decline in older adults. Each medication may be helpful on its own, but when combined, they can interact in unpredictable ways, straining the kidneys, fogging the brain, or causing blood pressure to drop to dangerous levels. Even more concerning, many medications are prescribed to treat symptoms that are actually side effects of other drugs. A sleeping pill to calm the restlessness triggered by a diuretic. A painkiller to dull the aches caused by statin use. Before you know it, you're not treating illnesses, you're treating the treatments. Consider George, an 82-year-old from Florida. At one point, he was taking 12 different medications. His daughter noticed he had become forgetful, unsteady on his feet, and unlike himself. After scheduling a comprehensive medication review with a pharmacist and a new primary care doctor, they carefully eliminated several unnecessary prescriptions. Within just weeks, his mental clarity improved, his steadiness returned, and his energy began to rise again. Here's what wise older adults understand. Just because a medication was necessary once does not mean it should be taken forever. Our bodies change as the years pass, and our prescriptions should evolve as well. That's why it's essential to ask your doctor or a clinical pharmacist for a full medication review at least once a year. Bring every pill bottle, every supplement, and even over-the-counter remedies with you. Isn't it worth making sure that what you're taking is truly helping and not quietly harming you? Let your doctors and pharmacists see the whole picture. Longevity isn't about avoiding medication altogether. It's about using it carefully, wisely, and with regular reevaluation. Every pill should serve a clear purpose, and when that purpose no longer benefits your body, it's time to ask whether the medication still belongs in your life. Number 6. The quiet danger of losing purpose. When someone stops waking up with a sense of meaning, the body often begins to follow. The changes may not look dramatic at first. They can be subtle. Less energy to begin the day, less interest in making plans, or less curiosity about what lies ahead. But beneath the surface, something deeper is happening. The nervous system, the immune system, and even the heart all respond to whether life still feels like it matters. And purpose doesn't need to be a grand mission. It can be as simple as tending a small garden, mentoring a grandchild, volunteering once a week, or calling a friend who needs your voice on the other end of the line. Purpose is about having a reason to keep going, something that gives rhythm to your days and a sense of connection to the world around you. Take Helen, a 78-year-old from North Carolina. After her husband passed away, she went through months of silence and disconnection. She admitted, "I wasn't sick. I just didn't feel like anything was mine anymore." Her body wasn't failing, but her spirit was quietly fading. Then, one day, she volunteered to help teach a reading class at her local library. 2 months later, she had not only found eager students, but also genuine friends. Along with those new relationships, her energy returned, her laughter resurfaced, and her days once again had purpose. Isn't it striking how one small step toward meaning can transform both body and soul? Her appetite slowly returned, and she shared, "For the first time in a year, I felt like I was living again." It's tempting to dismiss moments like this as emotional or soft, but science tells us otherwise. Studies from leading research centers have shown that older adults with a strong sense of purpose not only live longer, but also suffer less from chronic diseases and recover faster from health setbacks. Purpose doesn't need to be loud or dramatic. It simply needs to be yours. The moment you reconnect with it, whether at 60, 70, 80, or beyond, your entire system begins to stabilize. Because the truth is, the people who make it past 85 aren't always the fittest, the wealthiest, or even the luckiest. More often than not, they are the ones who still feel needed, who still feel curious, and who remain connected to something greater than themselves. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights meaningful, please comment the number 6 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to do so and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our future videos. Your support helps us continue creating valuable content to both inform and inspire you. Now, let's move into our final thoughts. Take a moment to reflect. What stood out to you the most today? Which of these 6 insights made you pause, reflect, or even nod and quietly think, "That one was meant for me"? The truth is, aging does not have to mean fading away. It doesn't have to mean decline, fragility, or isolation. Instead, it can be a time of awareness, resilience, and choosing daily habits that keep you strong and engaged with life. Aging doesn't have to mean decline. It can mean something entirely different: strength, clarity, connection, and peace. And the choices you make right now, whether it's taking a short walk, reviewing your medications, or simply reaching out to someone you care about, can ripple forward into the years ahead. Isn't it amazing to realize that small, intentional actions today can shape a healthier, more fulfilling tomorrow? You are not powerless at this stage of life. In fact, you may be holding more power than you've ever realized: the power to shift direction, the power to renew your sense of purpose, and the power to keep moving forward with resilience and strength. We'd truly love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today, along with how you plan to use it in your own life. Your thoughts mean a lot to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us motivation and encouragement to continue. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us keep creating valuable content that informs, inspires, and uplifts. Thank you so much for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video. Wishing you abundant health, lasting happiness, and peaceful days ahead. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more.